78 at noon. Well, today's even cooler than yesterday. Partially cloudy. But I can still feel the heat of the sun. Well, I don't have no excuse for not getting something done today, but I'm just being lazy. But I do need to go out and work on that south fence in the big pasture. It wasn't working the other day. I gotta do a test first, and then I'll go from there. If I can jump it to the north fence, and if it works with that, that means there's something wrong with the charger. Okay, that's controller. There's a nice breeze coming in from the north or northeast. Feels good out here today. Yeah, this is not too hot anymore. All right, I'm gonna be heading out there to the big pasture very soon. Then, if I'm not going to do too much out on the fence, and it don't take too long, I'll probably come back and mow some grass. Even though it's windy, and look at those trees. Look at them trees blowing in the wind. Yeah. We'll see. I can still cut grass. At least in front of the house. The kittens are asleep. Yeah. I forget when they were born. It's been at least a week. Yeah, at least a week. Maybe more. Yeah, as soon as their eyes open, I want to start playing with them a little bit. But I'm afraid if I do that, if I start touching them, the mama might move them. I don't know yet. She might move them anyway, no matter what I do or don't do. Well, at least it's not hot today. And I'm ready to head out to the big pasture to check that fence again. Just wanted to check on these guys first. This guy and girls. Oh, the other one's down in the water. Yeah, they're all here. Intently eating. Look at that short grass. He's still munching on it though. But the grass here is tall. Here's some of that grass I was talking about. I expect will be growing out in the big pasture, or in the hayfield. Hayfield. Yeah. Yeah, there's some more over there. Yeah, when the hayfield is full of that stuff, that's when I'll have it cut. If that stuff's still growing out there, that is. We'll see. Last time I took the hayfield, it was covered with buckhorn, which is worthless to me, especially for hay. But it's starting to take over because this time of year it's going to seed with a little seed head on top, and then we dump seed there for next year. Keeps multiplying. We'll see what happens with that in the future. Well, it's 4 p.m. I'm getting out here a little late, but all I'm doing is checking the fence. So, yeah, it shouldn't take long, I hope. And I picked some of these wildflowers, phlox. Maybe it makes the truck smell a little better. Maybe. Gotta sneeze. Oh, anyway. Okay. Let's get going. I'll put those wildflowers in some bottle of water. Make them last a little longer. They smell good. Well, there's some more of them phlox flowers. Yeah, I like them. Between that and the nose and the wild lilac that grow in the spring, yeah, they're both nice. But spring has a wild lilac, but they don't last very long. But these grow in summertime, so. And a few more over there. Yeah. I think I'll close the gate on after I go through. Yeah, the birds are using, some kind of bird is using that for a perch once in a while. Probably to sleep. Because there's a lot of manure there, a lot of bird droppings on the concrete. I try to learn from my mistakes, so today I remembered to take that wire gate hook from there, because last time I came through here I ran right through it. But I still need to tie something, a bag or something on it, so I can see it. So it helps to remind me when I open this gate to take that wire down. But it's open. I'm going to close it when I go through. Just in case the cattle do come down here while I'm working on the fence. Not much wind down here, and I don't know if the water's flowing or not. I'll take a closer look at it after I go get closer. Well, there's no wind down here much. I can see it in the trees though. I can see the wind blowing the tree leaves up high, but down here it's in a calm area. Well, from this perspective, it doesn't look like the creek is flowing, but I'll get a closer look at it to make sure. I just want to know if it is or not. I'll walk in from that gate over there. I'll just put the truck there for now. I wanted to check this fence on foot so I can get a good look at the insulators before I check the rest. And I can tell it's very dry. Haven't had rain for at least a couple weeks or more. And the cattle trails are like dust, just dust. And I don't know if that's good or bad, that pile of manure there. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to look like, but it was kind of half firm but not too lumpy and not too dry when it came out. Yeah, formed up pretty good. I think so anyway. Anyway, let's go take a look at the creek. This soil here is more like sand next to the creek here, because that's probably what it is from the overflows, when the creek overflows during the flood. Well, there's still water in the stream here. I can't really see it flowing anywhere, but it is standing. So it's not completely dried up yet. There's the culvert that I buried. Well, I didn't do it. The excavator people did when they straightened my creek route. And this is about where the old creek was flowing here. So I had them bury the pipe. And there's a sinkhole here, probably got a leak in it. And another sinkhole there where the pipe runs. And then it starts up there on the other side of that fence. Just down from that big tree. Anyway, that's how the water, anything that backs up over here, any water that goes there, it backs up to come out that thing and come out this pipe. Whether it actually flows through here, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's clogged up. I never did check it. Yeah, but there's water standing here, but I don't know if it's flowing. Yeah, a branch did fall off. I can see it down in the creek now. Yeah, there's a branch down there at the bottom of the tree. Broke off from up there. It was a dead branch, but and this is the stream here. So, and I don't think it's flowing because I don't really see any water over there. But it doesn't matter. They still got water up on top. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, this is a mulberry, but I've never seen any actual mulberries on it, so it must be a male. At least that's what I think. I got one up at the house too, like that, where the cattle hide underneath it in the pond. Anyway, yeah, this water's not flowing. That's the limb that broke off. The whole side of the tree, the bark came off too. Yeah. I should drag that out of there, but I'll do that some other time. Since I'm here, I guess I'll check these insulators again. I did it twice the other day, but couldn't find nothing. I haven't done my test yet up on top, but I will. But since I'm going to turn the fence off anyway, I'm going to turn it off before I go up to the top. Well, I'm standing in the shade of the pear tree right now. I was going to turn the fence off, but I decided to come over here and check it. There's just a little bitty light flashing on the first light on the tester. So there is some juice in it. So I'm thinking it's grounded somewhere. When I tested it down there by the gate, by the bridge, I didn't get nothing. Of course, I was in the sun, so I could see better in the shade. So after I check the rest of the fence, I'm going to leave this gate unhooked. And I got the gate closed down there. And I'll check this fence last. Yeah. But somewhere, look at these ironweeds growing back. And if I don't do something about them, they're probably going to start blooming and going to seed again. I just can't get ahead of them. Yeah, I guess the best way would be to sycamore it like I did the first time. Yeah, bush hog will work, but it takes longer. Bush hog's only a 5-footer. Sycamore's a 9-foot, so it's like takes like half the time with the sycamore. That is if I want to hook it up. But anyway, I'm going to check all these insulators again. But I'm going to do the rest of them with the truck. Yeah, they're just starting to bloom again. The ironweeds. Yeah, I got to do something about them. I was going to spray them. I think spraying would be best, but I should do that when they're smaller. I'll either do the bush hog or the sycamore to cut these again. But I got time. They're not going to seed yet, so I'm not going up the road today. I'm going to stay in the bottom since I'm checking the south fence, which is all this along the creek and then all the way down to the bottom and then halfway up the east side. And I got a road in the back I can drive up. Yeah, it's one less gate to open. Anyway, got to walk back to the truck and get going. The watershed from up on top above the gate comes down here on this side too. Flows down, and that's where the culvert that goes under this way. Yeah, down through here. It starts there underneath that old barrel, and some of the water goes in, but some of it also goes down and feeds that pond. There goes one of them. I think it's probably a crop duster. I ought to say crop sprayer because I don't think they dust anymore. Anyway, yeah, this is the remnant of the old creek. It used to flow where the bridge is. It used to be a big turn. It turned that way because this was all level ground, and it had trees here when we bought it. The trees went out about part way out that way. But anyway, the creek turned and went across the backside there in front of those big trees, and then made another turn there, came along here, the bottom of this hill, and flowed out back to the tree. So when I had them push all these trees out here, that was back in here, I had them dump in the old creek, dump it in the old creek there, and then dump it and I don't know if we put some in here or not. I can't remember, but I know we put that culvert in here and then covered it up with dirt when they dug this out. When they dug this creek out here to make the creek go straight instead of wind around this way. And then they covered up the trees back there with dirt. I know that for sure. That's why that's higher over there along the fence. Anyway, made it made it easier to work with here. Yeah. And when we bought this, I'm pretty sure the creek crossing, they didn't have no bridge or nothing. They were just somewhere in here. I think it was here or over there. I'm thinking, because this was all full of trees here. This is all trees here. So I think it was somewhere over there. I don't know if it was on this side of the creek or the big tree or that side of, I think it was on that side of the big tree. They used to drive down in and come back up to farm this other side. But there was no crossing, rock crossing or anything. It was just drive through it when it's dry. Anyway, I got to get going. Well, I drove down here, then I walked and checked the insulators. I wanted to get a good close look at them to make sure I didn't miss something. And I didn't find nothing here. Everything's hooked up right. I'm leaving this one unhooked for now. They can go in here now. They've been going in here now since they're in the rest of it. But it looks like they're respecting the fence so far. So I'll just leave it unhooked for now. And yeah, one of these days I gotta take that big cutter tool that I used yesterday in the weeds by the road, by the house. I need to come in here and walk through here and cut them down too, just so they don't go to seed. That's how big those ironweeds get. Except I cut these and now they're starting to grow back. All these through here. And I got some insulators now. I'm running out of the yellow ones, so I'll have to buy some more of those. But I'm going to, there's an insulator down there. Oh, yeah, right past that post. I gotta fix that one. I temporarily fixed it yesterday. No, not yesterday, the day before yesterday when I checked this fence. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna pull up, park, and then walk, check the fence just to make sure I don't miss something. I'm thinking it's a metal fence to metal ground because it's dragging it down pretty much. So let's get walking. Nothing so far. I don't really feel like cutting this again. Anyway, over time these posts are bending, but they're also coming out of the ground. I need to pound some of these in. I only got a small hammer, so I need to come back with a heavier hammer or the post driver. Let's see. I'm going to go up to there and then turn around and walk back. That's the insulator that broke. And I just put a corner insulator on there temporarily, just to hold, in case it did touch the post, it wouldn't get grounded any more than it is. That's a corner insulator, which ain't right, but I got the right kind now. Yeah, there's a new insulator. Helps to have the right equipment. Haven't found any ground yet. And I'm going to go back and get my truck, park it over there somewhere, and do some more walking. Yeah, I could check it from the truck, but wait, I think I found the problem right there. I wasn't even looking for it. I didn't get that far. Oh, why didn't I see this yesterday? I drove by here twice and I didn't see it. Probably because I saw the insulator. Anyway, wonder if I can still use that one. Looks like I just popped off. Yeah. That's the problem. Right there. Let's see if I can fix that with the insulator that's on there already. I had to walk back to my truck over there to get an insulator because I didn't have any of those black ones on me. So I just drove the truck up all the way up to there, and then I was checking the fence from there, my truck. This way I didn't find any more grounds, but I got my insulator now and I'm going to fix it. Yeah, it must have taken a lot of force to bend this because this is what broke. The side hinge, or it wasn't a hinge. It's just the side of the bracket, of the insulator. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it on there. Let's put a new one on. Okay, it's fixed. Since I'm out here, I might as well check the rest of the fence to make sure there aren't another ground somewhere. Almost back to my truck. I'll check the fence again from there all the way around. I'll just leave the truck there. That way I don't have to drive up to the top. And there's some walnuts here. Walnut tree. There's quite a few walnut trees in here. When I was clearing all this brush out of here to put this fence up, or to add the barbed wire, I mean, I cleaned a lot of this out so I could run my lawnmower and the ATV along the outside. And I found a lot of walnuts through here. Some small, some bigger. But I don't worry about them now. Because my property actually goes to the other side of the creek. Yeah, where those big trees are. That's probably where my boundary line is, somewhere there. But it was too much trouble to fence it in over on that side of the creek. So I just put it here. Made it easier for me. Because I didn't have money. If I would have had the money, I probably would have had all this pushed out, except for the walnuts. I had it pushed out. But I spent enough money just pushing it out. Down on that end, the creek actually came, this creek here, along here, it actually came out into that corner there and then went back in. So I had that redug and pushed them trees out, and I put all the trees that were pushed out, knocked down into that old creek and covered it up. That's why there's always a wet spot over there, because it sank. Anyway, enough about that. So far only that one ground, but I think that was the one that was grounding it because it was metal, fence to metal. But since I'm out here, I might as well check the rest of it. I don't know why, but I even got it anchored. But both of these posts are being pulled that way. Yeah, not sure why. Thought I put enough tension on it. Probably pulled that up, pulled that over too, because I think that was laying down more, if I remember right. Yeah, yeah. Oh well, it don't hurt nothing yet. Okay, I gotta check that again. I checked it once, but I'm gonna check it again. I got another test I want to do up there. I didn't feel like walking up this hill like I did the other day. It's pretty steep. So I checked it from down there. I eyed it from down there up. Then I walked around over there and walked up this way. It was a little easier walking. And then I checking it from this side. So far so good. Now I gotta walk to where the fence ends and do a little test. See if it's working. See if it will work. Oh, the breeze feels good. North wind. Oh yeah. I'm just working up a little sweat, that's all. The breeze sure does feel good though. And there's the truck way over there. Okay. There's the road. Yeah, I should have brought a chain with me. What I need to do is take the truck and drag it down the hill out of the way. Tractor would be better, but oh, there's cattle. Yeah, there's cattle up there. A few of them anyway. Probably the rest of them are probably in the pond or in the shade somewhere. And up, looked around these trees up that way, where the sun starts shining. That's where the end of this fence is. Yeah, yeah. There's my north. On that post is the end of this south fence, and the start of the north fence, and that charges over there. So I got a plan. This post is the end of the south fence, so I got a jumping wire that I can jump from this fence to that fence just to see if it's working. But first I got to test this north fence, see if it's working. Then I'll see if I can make the other fence work. See what happens. When I jumped those two fences, that one was working good. And then when I hooked it to this one's working, not quite as good as that one, but it's working better. It's got at least 2 lights flashing. That one has 3 lights flashing, but maybe this extra. I'm gonna check the other one, see if it's dragging it down. There still might be some kind of ground on this one. I haven't found it yet, but at least it's working as good as it did the last time a while back. So that's the main thing, getting it to work again. Of course, this is over here. I'm gonna disconnect that, go back to the charger, and turn it back on down there by the creek and see if it still works from that charger. The cattle are all spread out now. Guess I'm here. I guess I'll go ahead and take a look at them before I walk back down to my truck. Well, I might have been wrong. I checked both fences again. 3 lights and 3 lights. So maybe I wasn't looking at it at the right angle. Anyway, they're both working the same now. Although I disconnected the fences. So I'll have to go back down and turn the charger back on for the south fence and see if it'll work just the same or better. Let's see if I can go catch up with them cattle. Neighbor's bean field. Pretty close to my fence, but I don't think the cows can reach in. Look at all these weeds I gotta spray one of these days. Yeah, I thought about using the sickle mower on this too, or bush hog. This would probably be better off with the bush hog because some of them weeds are getting too thick. The stems are too thick. The cow saw me. Yeah, I'd hook up the bush hog, mow this up here, and then mow those weeds in the bottom. Although that bush hog wasn't the back wheel wasn't working too good last time I used it. Oh well, I can use it without the back wheel. So if I have to, I can just take it off. It'd probably fall off. Yeah, before I get a chance to take it off. Yeah, we'll see. That'd be the best option. Yeah, sickle mower is okay in the spring, but with these weeds too big like this, yeah, bush hog would be better. 'Cause I'm tired of spraying them. Plenty of Jimson weeds in here. And these sticker weeds. My brother told me what the name of this weed is, but I always forget. Doesn't matter what the name is. As long as I get rid of them. I think they're still hanging out in here sometimes. I know there's a salt block in there. They probably come in here for that. There's them Jimson weeds. And there's the cattle. So hang out around here a lot and under these shade trees behind the shelter. The little cattle. There's that white cow nursing her heifer calf. There's that bull calf I'm going to sell with its mama. There's his mama. I think it's the one up there. There's a black one and then the one right next to it. A bigger one there. And her or him. Its mama. Where's the other one I was going to sell? I think it's that one right there. Smaller one right there. Yeah, that's her calf from last year. And this cow, I decided to keep her instead of the other one I'm selling. I knew that calf was going to turn white. Yeah. And that's the nature of these Italian white breeds. The calves come out brown in the beginning, born brown, but then they become white over time. I'm running low on battery. I better get back to the truck. There's my oldest cow with her sixth calf. And that was her. This was her first calf, and now she's had 4 calves, and that's her 4th one. And it's a heifer. She had a heifer. Her first calf was a heifer, which is that white one. And she just had her first calf. And now she's had 2 boys, the white bull up at the house and that black bull over there. And now this is her 4th calf, and it's a heifer. Born April 25. Look, it's looking good. Yeah, this calf looks good. I like this one. Reminds me of her when she was little. She was kind of a reddish. Oh no, not that one. There's a red cow over there. The red one is her 3rd calf, and that's her 4th calf. And that black bull or white bull way up there, that's her 5th calf, and that's her 6th calf there. Like, you gonna be nice to me? Okay, I gotta go. I'm running out of battery, girl. Sorry. Gotta go. Can't play. That's Mama. She milks good. This calf grew good. Lots of meat on her. This calf here was born a couple weeks, well, she was April 6th and April 25, about 3 weeks. She was 3 weeks older, and she didn't grow as good because her mama's not as big. Yeah, I'll have to assess her as she gets bigger. Yeah, I think my best bet is to mow this with the bush hog. Too much to spray. Yeah, too much to spray. I think I'll take the shortcut to my truck. This is where I wanted to put that other road, a new road, but build it better. Clean out the trees through here, and then dig a ditch on both sides and pile it up in the middle, like I did on my other road coming up. That's what I'm thinking, but no money. This little stream here is getting bigger, or should I say getting deeper. And I was thinking to put my road between those 2 trees, but I think that would be a bad idea. That would be a bad idea. Yeah. It limits what I can drive up and down too. My best bet is to, like I said, clear out all these trees and dig a ditch on both sides and have it come up. Have it come up right through here. Have a ditch. I could probably leave that ditch, just dig it deeper, and then ditch here and have the road in the middle, and have it go straight up and through there. Because all these are small trees, so yeah. I might have to push this one out. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, the ditch would be on one side. Dig a ditch, pile it up here, dig a ditch, pile it up there. Or just follow the stream. Yeah, just follow the stream up, sort of. A little bit more straighter though. Yeah, that's what I want to do someday. Yeah, that was my plan. Yeah, I could make it work if I just had the money to hire somebody to push everything out and dig the hole, dig the ditch, or dig the road to make the road. Oh, that's a tree. I can only get my arms around halfway. Yeah. Yeah, that's something. That's a massive tree. Red oak. Oh boy, look at that thing. Look at that top. Yeah, I make a lot of lumber. Anyway, someday maybe. Yeah, I think the best plan would be to go through here. Take this tree out too, even though it's a good tree. It's leaning. Take this out and put the road straight through here. Or, no, straight through there. Straight up to the, actually straight up to the shelter. Then it would come out right here. Somewhere in here. But that's just a dream I got. So, it's back to working on the fence. Well, I'm done down here. Fence is still off. I gotta drive down there to the charger and turn it back on and see if the fence works now. I don't know which one it was. I think it was that one over there as it goes around the corner. That's the one that was grounded. Third time's a charm. That's the third time I checked this fence and I finally found the ground. Well, my mission is accomplished and I got the fence working again. 3 lights, which is enough for me. Let me check something. The tester shows the first light is 600, I'm guessing that's volts and up. And then the second light is 1,000 and up. And the third light is 2,500 and up. So I guess that's enough. It's enough for me. They're not my cattle. Somebody's cattle is out in the neighbor's bean field. And I know they don't have cattle. Wonder if they know about it. I'm not sure, but I think the people over there have cattle. Because they look reddish. I'll get a closer look at them. Yeah, I think they got cattle over there. Somewhere. Somebody needs to fix a fence. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, because I see some calves out there too. Maybe that's planned. I thought that was a soybean field. At least on this near the road it is. Farther back, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's the same neighbor that lives up the road here. I'll have to find out what's going on. I was right. It is a soybean field because I can see the rows on the hill there. So I don't know whose cattle those are, but there's some calves with them. I'll have to go check them out closer. Yeah, there's some cattle out in the neighbor's bean field, soybean field. I'm guessing that cattle are from that farm over that way. I think. I don't know for sure. Yeah, I gotta do some mowing over here too. Weeds are high against the fence. Mow it and then spray it. Well, yeah, there's somebody's cattle out there. They're all grouped together. It looks like Herefords mostly. Yeah, Herefords with their calves. I don't know whose they are. Yeah. There's some more coming out from over there. So I'm thinking they belong to that farm on the other side of those trees, because that's a different land. And I was wrong about this being a bean field. This is a corn field, which is worse, because the cattle like those. I don't know anybody to call. Yeah, but I'm sure they're close by. Yeah, I think they came from that direction. Probably a bad fence. Here comes another one. See? More and more are coming out. Maybe I'll drive around there. Yeah. See who lives over there. The owners of the cornfield don't live here. They just come out on weekends and stuff, or whenever they feel like it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go drive around and see if I can talk to the people who I think might own those cattle. I don't know who owns what, but I came in from that direction and I live over that way. And there's a house up here, but I don't know if they own this field pasture, because I think this is where the pasture this pasture butts up against that one over there. I went up to their house. Nobody was home. Yeah, at least I couldn't get nobody to show up. But I used to know the people who lived here, but I don't know who owns it now. I know the house is new. I haven't been down here for a while. Anyway, this is the pasture where those cattle came from, I think, on that other end down there. So, because they got a fence. They got a fence there, just a barbed wire fence. So, I'm not sure who to talk to. I might drive up there, ask them. But I think they used to have cattle too, so I don't know who owns what here anymore. Well, I stopped at that house on top of that hill. Not the first one that I stopped at, but the second one. They said they own the land, the pasture where these cattle came from, but they don't own the cattle. They're renting it to somebody, and they're going to call that somebody to tell them to come that their cattle are out. So I don't even know who the people were who lived up there. It's not the same people who lived there before, years ago, but it's somebody else. I guess that person sold out, and then these other people bought it. They said they haven't been there but a few years. Anyway, I don't know who owns the cattle, but at least I let somebody know that their cattle are out in somebody else's cornfield. They're getting a feast today. Well, at least they're staying together. Yeah, they came out of that corner over there. So wherever beyond those trees is the other people's pasture. So I guess they need a better fence or something. They broke through somehow. It looks like it was just a barbed wire fence. Yeah, they're right across from my pasture. Luckily, my cattle are right here to face them. Something tells me they've been out before. I should have asked them who owned these cattle so I could maybe contact them too. But she said the owner of that house said they're going to do it. And they live over that way. Way over there. Yeah. How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cows. 8 cows. Yeah. Looks like 8 cows. There won't be much corn left in here by the time they're done. I might wait around and see if somebody shows up to chase them back in. We'll see. I'll give them a hand if they need it. So I'll just hang out here for a while in case somebody shows up and wants to need some help chasing them back in. We'll see. We'll see. Well, if they're lucky, they'll get them back in before the owner of the cornfield. Although the owner of the field doesn't live here, and they're not home. They're not out here. But they don't own the corn. They're renting it, and somebody else plants the corn. So the corn belongs to somebody else, I guess. Okay. I think I know who planted that, but I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. Well, I can't criticize for their cattle got out because I had the same problem. Mostly down here along this fence here. I had problems up on the other east end too, cattle getting out over there. That's why that one year I actually watched them going underneath the fence couple calves. Not all of them, just a couple. One in particular, I remember who she is. I still got her. Anyway, she was young though back then. She's a calf. Anyway, originally I just had a two-strand smooth wire. See the smooth wire here? I only had 2 strands over that way. 2 strands of, might have been 3. Yeah, I think it was 3 along there. 3 strands. But what I didn't know, and they kept getting out, I couldn't figure out, the fence was working, so I would always check it up here by the charger. What I didn't know is that, I guess when I was working on something at one point, I'm looking at something. I got distracted. I have to go check it out. Anyway, I must have been working on the fence, and I had that fence. Actually, had it disconnected all that time that they were getting out. It wasn't even hooked up. I didn't have that big post in there. I just had a regular T-post there, and that's why they were getting out, because the fence wasn't even on. It wasn't electrified. But I fixed that. But to make sure they didn't get it, because my cattle would go out into that's when it was the bean field. They would go out there that one year. So that's when I decided to install all 2 strands of barbed wire all the way around the perimeter. Yeah. Yeah, and that's, yeah. And then last year I had 8 inches of rain. And I think one night, and just flooded and wiped out my whole fence. I put it back. I was able to put it back up. It stayed together mostly. A few insulators were broke, but it was all laid down and all pushed almost all the way out to the road. Yeah, the water pushed it. And I dug it back up and stuck it back up. But this year, I decided to. Since I had another flood this spring, I decided to install those 6 extra posts just for added support, and I think it helped because I had a flood after that, and it didn't go anywhere. I want to put some more of those wooden posts in, especially down there from that post there, from that power pole. Just past the other power pole, because that's where the heavy water flows, swift water. Well, the cattle disappeared, so I don't know what's going to happen. If anybody's coming to chase them back in or not. But it's getting close to 7 p.m., so I don't know if I want to stay out here all night waiting for anybody or until it gets dark. I'm not that neighborly. Well, it's almost 7:30 p.m. My cattle came up here while I was helping the owner of those cattle, and I know who it is now. It's my other neighbor, who lives. I don't know if he lives there, but he raises the alfalfa and some cattle up there. Those are his. He's renting the pasture of the other neighbor down there. Over there on that, way over there, there's a pasture over there, and the way they get out is they get out through the creek, which I'm always afraid that's what's going to happen to these cattle that go out that way, but so far they haven't. Yeah. Anyway, I'm done out here. Took about an hour to, well, maybe more like a half an hour. All I did was walk along and make sure the cattle didn't go someplace else. Yeah, this cattle came from over that way. Yeah, on the way to the farm, he's got that cattle there where he raises alfalfa. Yeah. Yeah, but everybody's okay here. Nobody's getting out here. My fence is working. Oh, they sure did some damage in that neighbor's corn, though. Oh boy. Even there's another field past those trees way over there. Yeah, they were in there too, and that corn was even taller. And they did some damage over there, more damage. Oh well. We'll see. At least it wasn't my cattle. That's the main thing. It wasn't my cattle. Okay. That's all I got for today. So, see what she's doing? She's reaching in there to see if she gets shocked. That's why I got to mow it and spray that. Oh, the fence should be working. Why isn't it working? I guess she's not touching the fence. Huh. I guess she's smart enough to stay away from the fence. But she's pushing it. Yeah, she's ready. Put some pressure on that fence that way. Anyway, I'm running low on battery. Hey cow, mama cow, she's my best cow. Oldest cow too. Yeah. She's, I can't remember now. Her mama was half Piedmontese and half Highland. And he was half Highland, and half of the other half was a combination of the three Italian white breeds. And she's got some Italian white breeds in her too, along with her Piedmontese and Highland. Well, at least I did my neighborly duty to help get his cattle back in, but I think he could have done it by himself. I wasn't much, all I did was walk along with him. Okay. Let's go back to the house. I'm tired. Yeah, she's ready. Eating underneath that fence now. Yeah, I gotta mow this tomorrow. I gotta mow the outside tomorrow. Since I'm gonna get the lawnmower running for the front of the house, or by the driveway anyway. Yeah. Look at all the nice calves I got this year. 5 calves. Plus I still got the 3 from last year. I'm gonna sell that cow on the end and her calf from last year, which is there, I think. And then I'm gonna sell her other calf from this year, both of them. Those two small ones there, her calf from last year and this year, and then I'll sell her those 3. And I'm going to move him, the black one, up to the house to be with the Highland cattle and the white bull. Because that white bull can't produce any calves, I'm going to probably sell them or eat them, the white one, and then I'll let this one take its place. Because it'll be 2 years old next year. Yeah. Okay, well that's all I got to do out here. I got the south fence fixed today. Had one ground way over there on the south side of the fence. Okay. Everything's looking good out here. At least my cattle didn't get out, so that's good. And it looks like I got something to eat. Still green anyway. And look what I just found. There's the moon. Hello, moon. Okay, back to, fight. Got a fight going on. The white cow and her mama. Yeah. No, that's not the white cow. Who is that? I don't know who that is. I think that's a little white bull. Yeah. Where is that white cow? Yeah, that's the white bull. The white cow's over there by the bull, big bull. The little one is the one fighting with the other cow. Yeah, they do that sometimes, trying to determine their pecking order. Okay, low battery, gotta go. I was just getting ready to get in my truck and I realized something. Today's August 2nd, and I forgot to put my new license plate sticker on the license plate because it ended in July. So I guess I'll do that now. I forgot all about that. See that? Ended in 7/25, which was a couple days ago. Good thing I wasn't going anywhere, except around here. So that's good. I'll put that sticker on now for 26. I'm legal again. All right, now I don't have to worry about it for another year. One last look at the cattle. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, cutting some grass around here, and I'm up at the house too. It's 7:40 p.m. Sun's setting earlier every day. I think it's around 8 o'clock now, so in what, 20 minutes or so it's going to set. But I don't need to wait for that. But I will mow this grass here tomorrow, here, and over there, probably in front of the road front, and then I'll drive down to the big pasture and mow up to the bridge and along the road fence. I'll put my flowers I picked today by the angel. Kind of matches the flower she's holding, sort of, not quite, but close. Okay, that's it for today. I've done enough. There's always tomorrow. Well, it's almost 8 p.m. and it's about 74 degrees, so it was a cool one today. Oh, I had taken a look at the cattle here. Well, boy, they're being judged. If there's no, if these 3 don't cows have calves next year, I'm going to blame it on you, and I'll have to deal with you. And then maybe your little brother, the black one, will take your place in the future. Yeah. Then I'll have to decide whether to use you for meat or just sell you. Yeah. I don't eat that much beef anymore, so, and I still got some in my freezer. But it's always good to have extra just in case. Where's the other one at? She's down over there. At least she's eating away. Yeah, they eat more at night, I think, because it's cooler. Yeah. That's mama and daughter there. Mama and the daughter. And bully. That's it. Eat them weeds. There's got plenty of weeds to eat if you want to eat them. I killed most of the bad ones. Although I missed the Jimson weed there. It's blooming. I see another one blooming over there. So I missed a few. Yeah. We'll see. Okay. Look at that pond. It's drying up. It's 7:55 and I just saw the sun sink below that tree right there. I can still see the part of the sun through the trees. Yeah. Yeah. 7:55. Yeah, I was pretty close. Sunset just after 8, or right around 8. So it's already down behind the trees now. Oh, that's all from today. There's that cow. Oh, actually that's a heifer, an old heifer. Never did have a calf. I'm still hoping though. And look at this here. Look at this ground. It's just full of mole run. It feels like plowed ground when I walk on it. Yeah, all through here. There must be something in there that they like to eat. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, one of these days I'm going to start burning these brush piles. Look at turtle dove. 2 of them flew off. Must have a nest above me. Or they're just roosting up here. There's the moon. Don't know what quarter, what phase, but look at the pears. They're getting bigger. I pruned it this year, this winter. Cut it off up there somewhere, but look at all these branches that are sprouting out. And they're growing so tall too. Yeah, there's a few pears. Yeah, they used to hang out real far on either side and all around, and then it was way taller, twice as tall as that. But it's growing back pretty quick. Anyway, I'll have a few pears this year. I decided to take a look at the pond. Yeah, pretty shallow. Here's the other pear tree. It's grown up tall too. I'll have to cut them all off this winter. I want to trim that apple tree back to the kind of grass that grows out in the hayfield this time of year, I think. It always did in the past. Whether it will again this year, I'll have to wait and see. It should be growing already. It looks like the cattle don't eat it. But they eat the hay. They eat the hay when I have it baled. Those two are still grooming each other. There's Makiti with the 2 babies. She's got 2 babies up at the corner of the porch. How you doing, girl? Huh? How you doing? You keep taking care of those 2 babies. Need some more cats around here, or the mice. I thought about getting a dog again. Watchdog. Alright. Okay, gotta go.